Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Today, I am reacting to Foxhole show TGIF with Al Reynolds, Claudia Jordan, and Funky DINEVA. The episode aired the other day about Porsha Williams and her getting into her fourth altercation and their opinion on Porsha and how her role has been on Porsha's Family Matters. They also discussed the statement that I had posted on my page about a week or so ago. It was a post and delete of Porsha trying to explain ahead of the episode what was going on. And so I wanted to react to what their thoughts were. Funky DINEVA said essentially he didn't like any of it. Claudia Jordan said she didn't like any of it. She felt Porsha is ruining her brand because she was basically the next person to be the face of Bravo, to be the face of Real Housewives of Atlanta after NeNe Leakes, and essentially might have just fumbled her bag with this spinoff show. And also her subsequently quitting all of her other jobs, quitting Dish Nation, quitting Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I'm not sure if Porsha did all of that because of Simon's lifestyle of wanting to travel and living a certain lifestyle, that Porsha felt she needed to quit these additional jobs to be more available to travel with him, or if she really felt that this spinoff was going to be her key out of Real Housewives of Atlanta and decided to make the decision to prematurely quit these other gigs in advance. But I don't know if it was a good idea, because the show, I haven't been able to really watch it outside of a few clips here and there, because the clips that I have seen have just been completely cringeworthy. Also, I was wondering if the reason Porsha didn't go back to Atlanta was because she was still upset about what happened last season with Strippergate and how that essentially became the focus of the show post Bachelorette party. And maybe Porsha was over it, or maybe Porsha had certain demands or requests that she was wanting in place for season 14, and there was pushback that they weren't going to accommodate that. So she basically said, okay, see you later. I'll just work on the spinoff. But to be honest, based off of Porsha's edit on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was probably better off just staying on the show. Yeah, her co-stars were likely going to drag her for this Simon situation because, frankly, it's messy. But she was going to still get an edit. She was going to find a way to talk her way out of it, or still have that bubbly, lack of self-awareness appeal to the fan base. And now it low-key is kind of confirming a lot of things that Kenya used to say about Porsha on this spinoff. And it's kind of just these sets of episodes have really just taken down Porsha's stock dramatically. And I'm sure there's still Porsha fans out there who want her to thrive, who want to see her do well and this and that. But you can't defend bad behavior. You can't defend constant acts of violence. You can't keep defending problematic behavior. And Claudia brought up a good point that the previous altercations, even though Claudia doesn't like Porsha, but people at least had an excuse or went along with Porsha's excuses in the other altercations that happened. And so she'd reference how the Kenya incident, that people could make the argument that Porsha was provoked with the scepter. And then the other incident with, I want to say it was Jamie, but I feel like it's not Jamie. But whoever it was, her former assistant, and she ran down the alley after the Christmas party. That you could say, okay, well, maybe that was alcohol influenced and she wasn't in the right frame of mind. And then the Cynthia incident with the kicking, you could say, okay, well, maybe that's editing or maybe we missed something there. But in this show on Porsha Family Matters, you clearly see that that's not the situation at all. There's not something that's being provoked or anything. This is Porsha's initial reaction to respond when certain things are not going her way in a certain narrative, or she feels that she has no other way to retaliate to a situation that she feels is not going in the direction she wants it to respond with violence or responding with escalating a situation that can lead to violence and more serious matters at hand. Also, they had said in this clip that they think that Porsha still is in love with Dennis. And I think to an extent, yes. But I also think to an extent, she wanted to utilize this show to get back at him for cheating on her while she was pregnant. She was hoping that she could flaunt this new engagement with Simon in Dennis's face, in Dennis's mother's face. However, they have pretty much been, real and legit on the show. They haven't been problematic. Now, I'm not defending Dennis at all because I still think, obviously, he has his own issues if he's up here cheating on, women, and not even just cheating, but cheating while your fiance is pregnant. And then cheating with somebody that you hired at one of your restaurants or whatever. And then hiring her back and bringing her onto this family trip. Like, you knew what you were doing. You knew you were trying to get a reaction out of Porsha. Come on now. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that Porsha has to give in to that and respond with violence. And that's the thing. That's the issue at hand. And I think she just would have been better off just going back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And the other thing that I thought about is, does Porsha have a bad relationship with the Williams side of her family? And maybe this show was her hoping to get back at them for whatever type of strained relationship on that side of the family that she has. But it ended up backfiring because there was so much bad footage of what Porsha was doing. And I just don't understand how this is Porsha's show. She's an executive producer and there's no good content. There is no positive content in this series about Porsha, who's supposed to be the star of the show. When do you see that happen? I thought the whole point of this was to be able to control the narrative, to control the storyline of the Simon situation, even though Simon really hasn't made matters much better himself when he's describing how him and Porsha got together. So it's all a hot mess. And then Porsha's cousin exposing them, saying that, confirming a timeline that is looking to be almost over a year, if we're being honest with ourselves. So a longer timeline than what Porsha is saying and contradicts what Porsha is saying. And basically her speaking out saying, hey, I'm not condoning being with a married man, with a man who's married. That's not something I'm ever going to defend. So I just don't know where Porsha goes from here. I originally thought that Porsha had a great relationship with Bravo because it seemed before the show aired, she was doing a lot of promo in conjunction with her book tour. So I thought, okay, maybe they're hoping this spinoff is going to be successful, and then there will be this demand for her to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, or there could be a season 2 renewal, or maybe she was hoping this would be like Kim Zolciak's Tardy for the Party, and this could be, a continuous show that she's doing every season, and she doesn't have to worry about going back to filming in an ensemble cast for Real Housewives of Atlanta. But the way everything has unfolded, the way a lot of fans have turned on Porsha because of this show and because of her behavior on this show, I just don't know moving forward what is going to happen. And that's essentially what was going on the show with Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, and Funky DINEVA, is they were essentially saying they don't know where Porsha can go from here as far as her, TV career goes. Because if this is going to be the last impression that people have, regardless of you have the viewers or not, it's not going to be a good look moving forward unless they see a change in behavior. But if this is who Porsha really is on this show, people are not going to be tuning in for it, or people are going to be hate watching to critique everything wrong that Porsha is doing. At least on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was edited enough to where you felt sorry for her, or you felt maybe some of her coworkers just, continued to come for her. But now, with how everything is unfolded, maybe that's not the case. Maybe we had the wrong perception. Maybe some of us were wrong. And maybe Porsha really hasn't done the work as she claimed. Maybe she hasn't really gotten the anger management down, hasn't gotten the self-improvement down. Maybe we coddled her for too long, for too many seasons, and then created a monster because we were seeing a certain version of the show and we weren't seeing any of the behind the scenes stuff or any of the other stuff that her coworkers was alluding to, like Candy and Kenya were on the Speak On It podcast. Maybe we should have paid more attention. And then we would have been able to hold her accountable back then. But now we're seeing everything for what it is. And now Porsha's upset because her likable, bubbly image that she'd worked so hard to curate after, the whole Rapegate situation with her and Phaedra, she worked really hard to get her image back to a likable housewife, and now all of that looks for naught. And now even her Black Lives Matter activism is being brought into question, if that was really real, or if that was for another storyline to quote unquote look good to the public but not really care about the cause. All because of the actions of the spinoff. So it'll be interesting where Porsha goes from here, because, once the book tour is over, and I think she still does the Amazon stuff, but outside of that, and she still has, the Pampered by Porsha and the Go Naked hair care, but her main bread and butter outside of Real Housewives, was Dish Nation. It was Real Housewives, and Dish Nation was Porsha's consistent work no matter what was happening. So I am curious to see not only how season 14 is going to play out, if it is going to be able to retain the same amount of viewership or retain the bulk of the viewers, and what's going to happen with Porsha's future at Bravo. Is she going to continue, or what's going to take place? Because this completely just left a bad taste in people's mouths. It truly did. And then it was funny in the clip because they were talking about Simon getting that Porsha tattoo, and I low-key kind of felt it was a distraction. I didn't really think anything of it. I don't find getting a tattoo of somebody's name important. I just don't. What does it mean? I mean, Dennis has tattoos of every single woman he's been involved with. So what is a tattoo really doing exactly of somebody's name? That doesn't mean that you're going to be together forever. But that tattoo will be, unless you get it lasered off, if it doesn't work out. But Dennis doesn't even care to do that. He's just like, oh, I'll just get another tattoo of another woman. Who cares? Or it's just wild. It is incredibly wild. It truly is. But it says a lot, even though Claudia Jordan obviously has not, been quiet about her thoughts on Porsha. The fact that she can be objective and even just look at this from a TV standpoint on how Porsha is ruining her brand and fumbling the opportunity that was presented to her to be the next Nene Leakes, to be the next face of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and for all of this to just crumbling down the way that it has, for all of that time, all of these years spent to, perfect that image, to get that image back to a likable status among the fans, to get back to where people were rooting for Porsha. And now either a lot of fans have turned on her, or some people are still trying to find the silver lining in something, or people are still trying to find a way to make sense of it all, or hope that there's something positive that's going to happen in the future for Porsha that's going to turn things around. But I don't even know anymore where we go from here. I don't know if the show's getting another season, and I don't even know if the family wants to even film another season with how awful everything has looked thus far. I'm sure Dennis and his mom would like to film another season, but I don't know about anybody else. And then as far as Atlanta goes, all of that depends on the ratings for this season. It all depends on how well all of the new housewives and, Sheree returning and everything, that all depends on how all of that mixes in. So it's going to be really interesting to see moving forward what ultimately is going to happen with this. But no, I am not a person who condones violence in any capacity. I do not condone how Porsha has been acting on this show. It hasn't been acceptable at all. And I was already turned off the initial clip where, Simon confirmed it was Porsha that just immediately slid into his DMs when there was problems and issues announced with his ex-wife. Well, I guess still technically his wife, but because I don't think their divorce is finalized. So it's just wild. But let me know your guys' thoughts. I just wanted to react because obviously Claudia was a former housewife, and Al Reynolds and Funky DINEVA, always have been watching Housewives for years and everything else. So I just wanted to see what their thoughts were on this and what their feedback was. And I believe Al Reynolds still thinks that Porsha might be acting out because she's still in love with Dennis. And that may be true, but like I said, I still think she feels a way and wanted to get him back for cheating on her. I truly do. She may still be in love with him, but I don't think she wants him. She knows she can't go back to him because she already did that after he cheated and it didn't work out. So yeah. But that is all the thoughts that I have. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the comments. I will link, of course, in the description, the link to this clip. It's about a 9-minute clip, 9 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe, about Claudia, Al, and Funky DINEVA just breaking down this Porsha statement and breaking down another fight that she's been in, as well as breaking down the fact that this might be the end of her reality TV life. Or maybe she goes to Love and Hip Hop, I don't know. Or the Zeus Network or somewhere, or Bad Girls Club. Maybe she goes somewhere else. The only thing I can see potentially redeeming Porsha is a wedding special. And remember, if you'll recall, there was allegedly supposed to be a wedding special with Dennis. But they eventually broke up, so that obviously didn't happen because, you know, they had their baby special, of course. But I don't know. I feel like she has to see this through. She has to get married to Simon, or all of this destroying her reputation and then further destroying her image and her likeness and her brand with this show, it's all for naught if the marriage doesn't happen. She did all of this for what? Because she already has the fame, she already has the clout, she already has the following. So, you know, what was the point of quitting Real Housewives of Atlanta and Dish Nation if you're going to end up back to square one, or end up in a situation where this thing with Simon has to work out? But Simon already said on the show that he has movers to move out the next move out the old one and bring in the next wife. So, because this would be marriage number 4 if they go through with the marriage. So I don't know where we go from here. I feel like really only a wedding special, because for the most part it's usually positive. But again, this is Porsha. So I don't know, but I feel like that's a step in the right direction. As far as everything else, I don't know where we go from here. Because even a break from Real Housewives, say even they ask her back to come back season 15, it still doesn't mean she won't be dragged, especially if she's still with Simon. So, I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen. I have no clue. I just know this has just left a bad taste in so many people's mouths. And it doesn't even matter at this point if you are a Porsha fan or if you're not a Porsha fan. The fact of the matter is, wrong is wrong. And you can't condone violence. You can't just condone erratic behavior. And this is a repeat offender. So at some point, you have to say this. There's zero tolerance for this. You can't defend this. It's not defensible. And you have to take the stand hat off and and look at it objectively. Look at it. It's wrong, no matter how you slice it. I couldn't even make it through the clip because I was just so floored. So that's my thoughts on the matter. But for real this time, I'm done. What are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys think about all of this? What do you guys think of the clip? Again, I will link it in the description box so you guys can link and watch for yourselves and see what Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, and Funky DINEVA have to say about Porsha and, you know, the fight and what they think her future is or isn't potentially on Bravo moving forward, and everything else. Those of you, your first time viewing my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please check out my playlist. Please check out other things that I have reacted to or have discussed on my channel. Those of you who've been back multiple times, thank you so much for your continued support. I'm grateful, appreciative, and thankful for each and every single one of you. I read all of your comments. I try to respond or at least like your comments as well. And then please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified the moment that I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.